guys, Kristen here. Today I want to talk about ways that you can make small little bits of real progress towards your goals. I know that yesterday I talked about how sometimes we have to choose to put our goals in the back burner, and that's still absolutely true, but there are cases in which we are able to make real progress in very small steps towards those goals, and here's how we figure out how to do that. So whenever you have a goal, the first step is to reframe that goal for yourself. All right, and I say that because as human beings, we all have different experiences in life, and that has led us to think about the same thing in different ways. So whenever you see something, you see it through your own lens, and whenever you have a thought about that thing, it's within the context of your own experiences. So I want to help you see your goal and how you might get there differently. Right now, I'm going to assume we're talking about a goal that you can't just march towards because of your chronic fatigue is limiting you from doing that. All right? So how I want you to reframe this and see it through a different lens is to imagine that you have a best friend. Your best friend in the whole world. You love this person deeply. You care for them enormously. And they have your health issues. They have all your problems. They're in your life situation. And they have this huge goal, same goal you have, that they want to get towards. And they are beating themselves up, and they are feeling awful and frustrated and depressed and down, and they're just angry and upset and sad because they can't just march towards that goal, and they're really struggling with not being able to march towards that goal. I want you to think about how you would tell them to approach that goal. I want you to write down how you would reframe your perspective on this if it was someone else trying to do the same thing that you are. An example here is that while many of us beat ourselves up and lament our limitations and call ourselves lazy or whatever we do to ourselves, we wouldn't do that to someone who's our best friend. We'd say, hey, stop being so hard on yourself. Take it easy. There are other options through this. You have other choices that you're just not seeing right now. All right, that's typically how this exercise goes. Is we discover that we're not being nearly as kind to ourselves as our best friends would want us to be to ourselves. All right, so reframe the problem by imagining that it's someone else who has it and that you're their best friend and you care about them and you want to help them achieve that goal. All right, so we have a new picture of what this looks like in our head. The next step is to ask ourselves questions. We want to discover new possibilities that exist, okay? This is a brainstorming session. You start your questions with, I could do this if, and then you fill in the blank after if. You say, I could do this if my goal shifted slightly. Or I could do this if I only expected myself to work on this for 5 minutes a day. Or I could write that book if I only commit myself to 4 sentences a day. All right? So that's finding new possibilities in achieving your goal. Another key step with severe chronic fatigue is to take time frame out of it, if possible. Instead of saying, I want to have a book written by this time next year, just focus on getting that book written. And what that does is it relieves the pressure of time and doing things now and having a certain amount of energy, because you don't know how much energy you're going to have day to day. So don't commit yourself to more than you know you can do. All right, which also leads us into the next step, which is break it down into the smallest, tiniest pieces possible. An example of that is if you're trying to rekindle a friendship, don't commit yourself to going out with them every Friday night if that's not something you're physically able to do. Instead, say, I'm going to text this person and ask how they're doing every day. That's something very small and very discreet and something you can probably accomplish even on a bad chronic fatigue day. Send a couple text messages back and forth and just let them know you're thinking about them and that you care about them. And this way, you're living within your energy means, you're avoiding the push-crash cycle, and you're still making small incremental progress towards your goals. If you found this helpful info on how to live with severe chronic fatigue, then I invite you to follow me on YouTube, just to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Sending you love and health. This is Kristen, and I hope to see you soon.